promised, today is going to be a review of the 10 Makeup Geek products that you should have if you don't already. So I did kind of have a hard time picking these because there are some colors that I just think are absolutely beautiful and I would consider my favorite. But when I think of my favorites, I'm thinking of products that I use all the time. So these are my most used Makeup Geek products and I hope you guys like them. So first thing that I want to mention is, I've already taken some out, but I actually keep mine in a MAC palette, which looks like this. So these are actually MAC shadows, but I keep them in here because I like how they're separated more in here than in a typical Z palette. But these are designed to fit in a Z palette, not in a MAC palette. So even though they will fit in here in terms of size, I wouldn't ever travel with them in here because they can like move around a little bit. They're not secure in there. But because they're just sitting in my drawer, if I'm not using them, then it's fine that they go in here. I don't know, I just prefer the look of this. You can buy magnets that will allow the Makeup Geek products to stick in here better, but I've ordered 2 separate magnets and both of them have just been like a disaster each time because they don't stick as much as you would want them to. So I've just kind of said forget it, I'll put them in a Z palette if I'm traveling, but for right now I like keeping them in the MAC palette. I just keep like a little sticky note on the back to tell me which shadow, like what the name of each shadow is. I love Makeup Geek products. Everything that I've tried of hers I have been impressed with, especially considering the price tag. Her matte shadows are what I am most impressed with, I think, because it is very difficult to get a matte shadow that stays matte with the blendability that she has. When I say she, I mean Marlena. So I think that her matte shadows are like her shining stars of the whole collection that she has, but I don't feel like a lot of people really give those shadows the credit that they deserve. So although there are a lot of shimmery ones that are beautiful, I think the matte shadows there are where it's at. I will say that there are 2 shadows that I don't know if they're duds or if they just don't work for me, but they don't last very long on me. It doesn't matter if I use a Painterly paint pot as a primer or if I use the NARS primer or the Urban Decay, or I'm looking at all my primers right here that I've used with it, or the Lorac primer. It just doesn't stay on my lid, but they are beautiful colors. So one is this one right here, which is Shimma Shimma. This is something that people talk about all the time. It's beautiful on the lid, but it just doesn't last on me. So I do use it a lot. I know that when I'm using it, it's not going to last all day long. And then the other one that doesn't last on me but is beautiful is Homecoming. Again, I don't know if it's a dud for me, but it's beautiful, it just doesn't last very long. So, but those are the only 2 that I've ever been disappointed with whatsoever. The rest of them, they last all day on the lid, they blend very easily, but they don't blend together into one big mush on your eye, and the pigmentation is there. I mean, they're amazing. You guys know this though, everybody and their mom has some sort of video on YouTube about Makeup Geek products, so let's get into the swatches. Number 1, this is one that I use every single day. This is Peach Smoothie. If you haven't heard about this one yet, then you need to get out from underneath your rock and do some research because this is perfect. It's good for blending all over the lid, but it's also good for fixing eyeshadow that isn't blending well. So if you have a matte shadow usually that isn't blending, you can put a little bit of this and blend over it to kind of give it that gradient effect. The next one is Creme Brulee. This is another one that is similar to Soft Brown in the sense that it's a good crease color. You can even put it a little bit above your crease depending on your skin tone and it will look perfectly natural and normal. I love these warmer colors because I do have lighter eyes, so these warmer colors really bring out the color of my eyes. But I do have some more like neutral tones in here as well. So Creme Brulee is the bomb. This is Latte. So Latte is more of a neutral color. So if I am actually wearing Latte in my crease today, if I'm going for, you know, a more neutral tone or a more like cooler tone look on my eyes, then I will throw Latte in the crease because this is just a perfect neutral crease color. I absolutely love this color. And then a little bit darker and a little bit more red than Creme Brulee is Frappe. So this is Frappe and this is Creme Brulee. So you can see that this one has a little bit more red to it. This is almost, I would say, like the baby sister of Brown Script because it has, or Cocoa Bear that Mylena has. It has those same tones, it's just lighter in color. Now, this is a color that I have on my eyes right now in the outer V. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is Mocha and this is a perfect neutral tone, dark, deep brown. I rarely use black eyeshadow. In fact, I can't even remember the last time I've used black eyeshadow unless I did it like on a fluke. But Mocha is perfect for deepening any sort of eye look without making it look too harsh. And some of these might be getting kind of boring for you guys because they're either shades that you've seen before a million times or they're just neutral tones, but I'm, you know, just giving you ideas of what I use all the time. So hopefully this is helpful and not boring. And if it's boring, you've probably already X'd out of the video and I'm just talking to the people who are interested. So the next one is Vanilla Bean, and this I use as a brow bone highlight. I love Vanilla Bean because it's more matte. So I am not a huge fan of having that like bam highlight on my brow bone. I don't know, I just think it looks not so natural, obviously. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of it. So I like a more matte or satin shade on my brow bone, and Vanilla Bean is just like the perfect shade for me because it's a little bit more warmer, as is my skin tone, so it looks very natural. And also about that one, it doesn't accentuate any of the little hairs that you have up there, which I think is important too. Sometimes if your eyebrows aren't perfectly waxed or perfectly plucked, then lighter shadows can kind of emphasize the fact that you haven't plucked your eyebrows, and that just doesn't look good. This one, I don't feel like it clings to any of my hairs up there, and it just looks good. More interesting one here is Burlesque. Now this is, to me, very similar to MAC Star Violet. I know I was watching Young, Wild, and Polished videos the other day and she was like, why does everyone compare makeup products to MAC? And it was like one of her pet peeves. She gets annoyed by it, but I think I just do it because it's one makeup brand that's universal. A lot of people know about those colors and they recognize the names. So not that she watches my videos or even knows who the heck I am, but it just makes me laugh when I think about it since I just compared this to a MAC shadow. Sorry. Anywho, so this is Burlesque and it looks a lot like Star Violet from MAC. This is shimmery, and if you have green eyes, you need this in your life. Obviously it's gonna look good with brown eyes or blue eyes, but if you have green eyes, do yourself a favor and get this eyeshadow. All right, and then Cupcake for the win. Or pink. If you're gonna do a purple or pink eye, like a lot of color packed on the lid, Cupcake is a perfect transition color because it kind of takes the transition from that intense purple into a more natural skin tone color. So you can even put Peach Smoothie all over your eye, this in the crease kind of fading into Peach Smoothie, and then go in with your purples on the lid and it will look amazing. So I have one more eyeshadow and then I'm going to talk about two pigments that I love as well. Glamorous. This one is perfect because it's like a wearable, an extremely wearable copper. It's, if you have blue eyes, you'll love Glamorous. It's similar to Amber Lights. In fact, if you watched my Sephora haul and you liked my lid color was this Makeup Forever eyeshadow, the Artist Shadow in 728. If you liked that look, you could get that with this for a more affordable option. It's just a beautiful coppery color, and if you have blue eyes, then it was made for you pretty much. So now the last two are pigments, and one thing I have to say about Makeup Geek pigments is that the packaging I don't feel like was very well thought out. To have something that loose in a container that has a wide lid, I just don't think was very smart. I like the MAC ones better, where, you know, if you take it off, it's got kind of like a smaller opening right here, so you're not spilling product everywhere. I think it's better to have it tall and skinny than what they've done with this. I know now they do have like little sifters that you can buy, but I don't know if that really helps that much. Every time you open it, it's just like an explosion of pigment. So that's the one thing that I will say, but I think that that's something that everybody just kind of lives with because the product is so good. So the first one that I'll talk about is something that everybody talks about, but it's Vegas Lights. And there was a Vegas Lights palette that came out, and I do believe that it had this color in it or something similar. I'm not sure. But the pigment on this one is definitely more flaky. It's chunkier, but the effect that it has on the eyes is amazing. I mean, it's very, very vibrant. It's very bright. It's very eye-catching, and it catches light in such a beautiful way that you can live with the fact that it's chunky. And then the last one is something that I'm wearing on my eyes today. It's all over my lid, and because of the shape of my eye, it's probably all over my eye now. But this is more of like a recent find, and I just can't put it down. It is the Pigment in Birthday Wish, and this is a rose gold color that I just can't. It's so beautiful. This one, on the other hand, is very smooth. So it works perfectly with, you know, a brush that's not even wet. With the Vegas Lights, I would definitely recommend wetting your brush before you apply it. But this one, it will go on smoothly without a lot of fallout. It will have some, but without as much fallout as with the Vegas Lights one. The color is just, I think, beautiful for blue eyes, for green eyes, for brown eyes. I think it's very universally flattering. Amazing. So that was all of the Makeup Geek products that I think that no one should live without. I absolutely love them, and I use them all constantly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I think even Makeup Geek is having like a Black Friday sale, so that's why I wanted to get this up ahead of time. So if you don't have any of these, hopefully you can purchase it there over Black Friday. I hope you guys have an awesome Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!